After the British Grand Prix, I was honestly left with a freaking ton of questions unanswered. One of which is, of course, what kind of tomfoolery did McLaren participate in order to start P2 and P3 and finish the race to secure more points in one race than they managed all season? Obviously, they improved their car. That's a given. I'm pretty sure anyone with an IQ higher than the Ferrari pit walls can tell you that's the case. I mean, looking at the start of the season, these guys were straight balls. Oscar DNF'd in Bahrain, and Lando plumb last. And now you want to tell me that after 10 races they've got the second fastest car on the grid? Because that's exactly what it was. I mean, just take a look at the start of the race. Obviously Max was caught dreaming, but even then, for what, 5 laps, Lando managed to keep him behind. And to top it off, after Max passed him, Lando still managed to stick within DRS range for a good few more laps and ended that race on the podium purely on merit. I'm praising Norris a lot here, but the real winner in my opinion has to be Oscar Piastri. Sure, he lost out on what looked like a guaranteed podium, but really, that was just bad luck if I've ever seen any. This dude, in his rookie season, is taking the fight to Lando like we've never seen before. If that safety car hadn't come out when it did, I'd go as far as saying that Oscar would have beaten Norris to P2. He pit first, and naturally at Silverstone, that undercut is about as powerful as your mom's slipper after you failed a test in school. Obviously, since the track is fairly high in tire deg, and on top of that the McLaren absolutely eats through its tires, that would have put Piastri ahead of Norris. Now, do I think he could have held him back? Honestly, yes. Look at the first few laps of the race. While Verstappen was chasing Norris for the lead, guess who was right behind him the whole time? The boss man himself. And he pulled far away from the pack along with Max and Lando. And just to add on to that, he was in Max's dirty air the whole time without DRS, mind you. Absolutely clear of the Ferraris and Mercedes behind, but after the safety car, he was on slightly older hards behind Lando and Lewis now as opposed to P2. So yeah, the strategy didn't exactly work in his favor, did it? But again, I still see that as an absolute win, because not only was he pretty much equal on performance with his teammate, who of course is extremely highly rated in the F1 community. In fact, in my humble opinion, I think he's a bit too highly rated. But anyway, Oscar managed to show that even in a car that is notoriously difficult to drive, both Sainz and Ricciardo said it, Oscar is taking the battle to Norris very clearly. Now that's awesome and all, but my mind still craves answers. How? After a little bit of internet research, I found this. If you've ever watched Top Gear, you'll understand that reference, and if you didn't, come on man, what are you doing? But seriously, all I could really find were just vague reports on how McLaren are in phase 2 of their upgrade schedule, new floor, new side pods, things like that, but nothing of substance really. And honestly, I'm not bothered to do much more than that. But the real question here is, will this last? A straight podium here and there is what we've come to expect from McLaren by now. But that all means absolutely nothing if in the end they do exactly what they've done now for the last few seasons. Start the year bad, get better, look pretty decent, and then fall right back down the pack in the very next season. Because of this, and I've been saying this for a while now, McLaren in its current state has always struck me as a 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of team. Look at Monza 21 for example. Crazy race, McLaren 1-2. Obviously wouldn't have been the case if Max and Lewis hadn't made out at turn 1, but still they undoubtedly had a mighty fast car. And after that, Sochi. Fast McLaren again. The race Norris almost won but didn't. And after all that, they went absolutely nowhere. I mean, literally, they just disappeared. And that's the story of McLaren in a nutshell. But clearly, something was really working in Silverstone. Was this just a one track suiting the upgrade sort of thing? Or are McLaren pulling an Aston Martin? Never mind, actually, Aston Martin are doo-doo now. But that's a topic for another video. I do have to say that this time, it does feel real. Something feels just a bit more legit. Like that pace we saw all weekend might actually last. But really, it could be either or. We just have to wait until Hungary to know for sure. But honestly, as of now, there's a seriously big hype train forming at McLaren, and I kind of want to hop on for the ride. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and if you want to see more of these shorter style videos, please do like and subscribe to help with the growth of this channel. But as always, thank you so much for watching, have a blessed one, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.